Hey friends, how you doing? It's Ernie, and this is Bitcoin analysis from Crypto Ernie. It is Tuesday, November 19th. Is that right? Is that right? It is. All right, so I'm in tune with the calendar. That's good. What's happening with Bitcoin? So yesterday, I did a volume profile analysis, and to me, it looked like it was going to go down and touch 8,000. That was essentially what the analysis boiled down to, and the real question is whether or not it will stop there or bounce, come back up. No one really knows, but let's see what happened. All right, so we've got the chart right here behind me, and what you can see is this blue line here. Let's see, let me get out of the way here. This blue line there is, in fact, 8,000. Well, it's actually 8,008, but you can see right down here, what did it come down to? It came down and touched 79.87. And then here it touched, so it looks like 8,000, give or take. But it touched it at first on this initial plunge, which actually happened soon after yesterday's show. And then it looked like we were going to rebound, and then we just faded. Came down and tested it again, and now it looks like we're rebounding again. Now, we had a series of lower highs, lower lows, came down, tested it again, went a little bit lower, came back up, tested it again, and now it's coming back up. Now, in order for this to be a successful rebound, I'd like it to clear this initial rebound, which appears to be at about 82.20. So if we can rise above 82.20, let's put a line there. Rise above 82.20, right there. Let's put a little arrow there. We want to do this. We want to go up here. Oh, do we want it to be red? No, we want it to be green. Green. There we go. Green. That looks better. So that's what we want. We want that. We don't want to come back down and test it a third time. So every time we come back down and test this, that support typically gets weaker. I would say that unless it tested it several times, like it came down 5, 6, 7 times. There's the question. Is there a point at which the weakness subsides, and then it's just a matter of, hey, this is where I want to be. I'm just going to pound it and keep on accumulating here for an eventual move up. I don't know. But I would say that in general, when you go 2 times, that is an okay sign, especially if it starts moving up. You go 3 times, and then you start worrying that it is actually weak, and then you have to look at the price action and see whether or not volume is picking up as it tries to pound that, and then also look at the order flow and the orders that are put out underneath that. If you have strong conviction underneath, people just waiting for it to come down there, and then it pops up each time, that's probably a good time, a good thing. However, if it hits it a 4th, a 5th, a 6th, a 7th, that's uncharted territory. Who knows what the hell that means? I would think that as it hits it more and more and more and more and more, failing to come through, that's probably increasing, or an indication that the strength is increasing, that now it's more of an accumulation mode here. I guess. I don't know. That's how I would think. So it looks like we're rebounding a bit. We need to get up above the 220 area and then recapture this place where we fell off the cliff. And if we go to a 15-minute chart, that will become a little bit more in line. Let's go back down. Now it actually fell off the cliff right about here. It started to fade and then rolled over. So those are 2 points, I think, that are important. There's the point where it actually rolled over, right there. And then there's the point where it started to fade. Now, if you notice, before it faded, it made one last desperate attempt to move up. Right here. Right up to about here. At about 86.25. It was rejected. That's interesting. It got rejected right there. So we might think that that has some sort of significance as well. So we'll mark that, and then we'll take a look at the volume profile in the larger time frames. Maybe go to an hour and then see how all this stuff is playing out. So we can see, here's that little arrow. We have, now this is sort of a mini volume well here. And there was a little node right in the middle. That's where it kind of failed. There was some extra volume there. You can see back here, there are some inflection points, opens and closes, where the bodies are just stopped right there. That seems to be a fairly significant level anywhere in this area. Let's say anywhere around there. All right, and that coincides with that tiny little volume node there. Now this is, this is this time frame, and this is the an hourly chart, hourly bars. Now it looks like we're moving up with some strong hourly bars here. Constant move up. 3, 4 good strong bars. 1, doji, and then a continuation. So if we get above this first level at 220 and make it back up here, perhaps grab a hold of this little volume node here to launch off from, and then maybe up to the next one. It's like climbing a ladder. But we got a long ways to go, man. A long ways to go. We are in danger zone down here. I mean, it was just a horrible ride. A horrible ride that all started. Where did it all start from? Where did all this come from? It all came way back here when Chairman Xi said that blockchain and China were simpatico, that China was going to be and should be the leader in blockchain development. And we got this huge, huge move up by the hopefuls, the sheep, the lemmings, the people who have no moral compass. They don't care if it's China that's going to lead them to nirvana. They just reacted to it. Now, on the other hand, it could be just China playing with us. They're mind-fucking us, which is the most probable explanation, because China does control Bitcoin. Let's face it, people. China controls friggin' Bitcoin. You are in China's realm. You are. They've got over 50% of the miners. Every little word that Chairman Xi, that communist pinko dictator, says, you hang on every word. You think China is the cat's meow. Man, they've taken over Hollywood. They've infiltrated our country in so many different ways, as well as around the rest of the world. And all you can see are dollars and short-term sound good, and, dreams and pixie dust and fairy tales and unicorns. That's what you see from China. They have bamboozled you into thinking that Bitcoin is for the everyday person. Now, don't get me wrong, I love to trade Bitcoin. It presents all these great opportunities because it has so much volatility in it. But there's volatility everywhere. Volatility exists everywhere. You just have to know how to look for it. Bitcoin is cool, and it's cool to, fool around with it. And I've been, paying a fair amount of attention to it lately. I even changed my name to Crypto Ernie. That helped a little bit and shine a little light over here. But it's all about volatility. It's all about strength of markets and longevity of markets. Does Bitcoin have longevity? I think it probably does. Is that future embedded and wedded with China? That's a big problem. That, my friends, is a big, big problem. Now, you can convince yourself otherwise, but you're making a mistake. If we can wrestle Bitcoin from China, that'd be good, but I don't think that's going to happen. They see opportunity here. Big opportunity. Now, I don't believe their plans are to make Bitcoin a worldwide reserve currency at all. But I do see it as a way as ingratiating and enriching some of the oligarchs, the people who are in favor from the Politburo, those billionaires. They're minting billionaires over there at your expense. And this is good for them. That's what they want to do. They want to take their few friends, prop them up, turn them into rich oligarchs, mind fuck you into believing that it's an asset for the everyday guy. And as long as you believe that, you're going to meet a horrible, horrible end. But if you keep this in perspective and understand that their game is mind-fucking, that they do not have your interest in mind, and that Bitcoin is not decentralized, it is largely centralized around China. You got to say it right. China, like President Trump says. China. Oh yeah, Chairman G, he's a good friend of mine. We have a great relationship. That's Trump just, patting, stroking him a little bit. Trump knows that China is bad. Wish the rest of you would understand that China don't give a shit about you. They only care about one thing, and that's world domination. They've got a 100-year plan, of which they are, that plan had a pretty good head start on it. It had Hillary got in, and Obama started to really push it down that path. The globalists all want to jump on board, have ultimate control of the people. That's what you think, that Bitcoin represents freedom. How can it be free when it's being strangled by the biggest oppressor on the planet, China? It does not comport. It's oxymoronic, or as some people would say, oxymoronic. It is definitely moronic. Tim wants to know, hey, Ernie, have you ever been ripped off? Have you ever been ripped as fuck? I think that's what you're saying. Have you ever been ripped as fuck? You have no idea. All right, so I've been around for a long time, Tim. A long time. 60 years. I grew up in the 60s and the 70s. What do you friggin' think? Have I ever been ripped as fuck? Come on. To pop out the chat. Pop out the chat. And reload it a little bit. There we go. So Chris asks, Tim's question, Ernie's response is even better. Yeah. So let me just tell you a little anecdote here, little story. It's not, you know, I could create a whole podcast around being ripped as fuck. Okay? But I'll just give you a little taste. My friends from way back, and friends that I've known for 40 plus years, they have a nickname for me. My name is Eb. They have soliloquies and extensions of that. There are Eb-isms. Those are things that emanate from Eb. But Eb is short for E the B, which is short for earn the burn. Read from that what you will. So anyways, yes. Oh, by the way, have you ever seen these guys there? You know what that is? There's a couple of them. All right. So where we go from here? Where we go from here largely depends on whether or not we hold this 8,000 line and whether or not we recover back up to, I think we need to recover at least back up to 8,500. If we can get to 8,500, I think all will be good. And Bitcoin will survive to live another day and have maybe a chance at moving up to a, not another all-time high, but an intermediate high, at least maybe up to, well, let's take a look at this here. I'll show you where I'd like to be. I would like to be here. That's where I'd like to be. All right. That's where I would like to be. I would accept here. I would accept there. That's number 2 for me. This is number 1, at least for the time being. I can see us hanging out here for a while until we launch off onto the next bubble, which I believe will bring us up to new all-time highs. When will that happen? I'm giving it about a year, maybe the end of next year. Maybe it will all lead up to the halvening. That's another possibility. That will rise into the halvening as that becomes a reality and gets closer and closer. I believe that if we can maintain these 2 levels, as the halvening gets closer, we'll start moving exponentially up to it. And of course, after the halvening, what's going to happen? The bubble will burst. It will burst again. And that will present another opportunity. Actually, moving up to that point, I think, is going to present an opportunity. There will be a fair amount of volatility. We'll all make lots of money. We'll all be happy. Our goal is to make more Bitcoin, regardless of which way the price goes. We know that it will go up into the halvening. it will come down, and our goal is not to lose Bitcoin, but to multiply our Bitcoin. And how do you do that? You do that through PatternCast Bitcoin Cast. That's the way we multiply Bitcoin around here. It's the proper way. I also I wanted to point out something that when you become either a Bitcoin Cast or Market Cast member, there's going to be a new benefit to joining us. Besides the fact that we have the best trade signals on the friggin' planet, the most unbelievable trade signals on the planet, I am developing a trading course. It will essentially be free to those people who become members. This is easily a $2,000 course. It has all the same components as some of the best courses on trading that have ever been out there. I am in the throes of writing all the scripts right now. It will also contain a lot of my past courses, including volume profile and those on options, and if some remember automated trading, I have that's going to be included there as well. It will cover day trading and swing trading. Won't be covering investing so much, but it is going to be a great course. And the other thing that will come with that is a live trade room. Now, the trade room will not be calling PatternCast calls. It may review PatternCast calls, but it will also cover other things that aren't in PatternCast. Using as an example market and assets that we don't have that prop up from PatternCast that we may want to find on our own. How to detect, how to find stocks in play, how to find assets in play, and then how to trade them with various patterns and techniques and manage them and be risk adverse and all of that stuff. That is all going to be included. Now, you can get involved in that whether you're a PatternCast member or not, and it will only cost you $2.95 a month. It's friggin' ridiculous. But the idea is that once you get in there and you start seeing what's going on, and you see that also we will, in this course, be covering PatternCast signals or taking signals from signal services like PatternCast, as well as automated trading. Once you see that, you're going to want to join PatternCast. So that's my ulterior motive. Don't tell anybody. All right, let's see what's going on here. Hey Frank, how you doing? I bought the Black Friday sale. I did the first course. Now I wanted to do the next, but it's not appearing. How come? Completed the first. All right. So first of all, there's a notice above the course. I'm not ready to release it. I've put it out there, and there are some people buying it already. And I encourage you to do that. All right? But I'm still in the process of writing the scripts. I am officially releasing it, because I really haven't talked about it, but I'm officially releasing it on Black Friday, that weekend. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then I'll be promoting it right through to the end of the year. So I'm very happy that you joined, Frank, but please do not expect very much until next week. The stream is always better when Bitcoin is crashing. Oh, I know. I get pretty excited when it goes up, too. I had to amend taxes back to 2014 after I got you got the crypto tax letter. I'm so sad for you. Tubb says, oh, that is why I cannot pay via PayPal. Why can't you pay via PayPal? If you go into PayPal, when you go to the checkout, there is a credit card option. You don't have to go through PayPal, but if you can't go through PayPal, maybe it's something wrong with your credit card because other people have already signed up. But in any event, I'm very happy that you join early, and please do join early. Your contribution here is greatly appreciated. Everything that I make from this goes directly right back into creating this course. Yeah, I know what you mean. The course for $295. What's the problem? Why can't you pay via PayPal for $295? That doesn't make any sense. In any event, the course I have, it's mostly going to be videos supported by text. So Frank, if you went to the very first thing on, well, let's review it. Let's go over to it. So the only thing that I've added here is some text in preparation. And yeah, there's a fair amount of good stuff in there. And I don't think I've added anything else. Yeah, see, there's nothing else here. But by the time we get to the weekend or past the weekend, there's going to be a bunch of stuff. By the time we get to the following weekend, there's going to be a bunch more stuff. And by the time we get into the first week of December and then through it, I figure the course should be complete by the end of the year. And then it's going to be kind of ongoing. I'll just keep on adding to it, keep on adding, you know, quizzes, topics to the existing lessons, etc. But I would say that by mid-December it will be complete. I wouldn't expect anybody to go through it in that amount of time either. You know, we're going to be going over different sections of the course through the live trade room. And I expect, now the live trade room is probably the biggest benefit. The live trade room is where we're going to take the course and dissect it and then look at it at the market on how we're going to actually take that course and put it into action. It'll be like a trading desk, a real live trading desk. And if you notice in my Discord server, there is a new live channel in there called Get the Trade, and that's what that's for. All right, so please go and buy the course now. That would really help me. It'll show me that people are interested. People that are already in that are already PatternCast members already have access to the course, so they are all going to be part of that. And there's 300 of you. It's going to take me a little while to get everybody set up. There's so much to do. So anyways, let's go over this course. Let's go over all the parts to it. All right. So here's the notice. Official release of the Trading Masterclass is December 1st. I'm currently writing scripts and we'll start producing videos and lessons starting the week of Thanksgiving. All right. And that'll go on ad infinitum. Those the releases of lessons and topics will go on forever. I expect to have a good portion of it done the first week of December, maybe the second week of December. So much so that there will be plenty of you. I mean, that just the first few will be enough for you. Believe me, it'll be good stuff. But in any event, here's the courses in sections. All right, so we have the plan, everything that you would have to consider in getting yourself prepared to trade. The whole idea of what you have to do not only on a trade-by-trade basis, but what you do from the very, very beginning, how you plan everything out. And basically the whole, let me say that the whole cycle of trading from preparation to a retrospective and what that all looks like. That's like the big picture, as well as some good meaty details. And then we'll get into the mind and all the things that revolve around that, and particularly and most importantly, the habits that you need to adopt in order to become a great trader. And I'll even show you how to adopt habits, how to perfect those habits, how to get rid of bad habits, replace them with good ones. Then we'll be getting into the trade itself. How you find good trades, ranking them, find good setups, scans and filters, setups, alerts. And then we'll get into the risk. Let's go to the next page. The risk, including how you would actually rate trades based on risk, the scorecard, or how you can reduce the risk by having a checklist to make sure that you have covered everything that you need to, and that will sort of be like your filter to get into that trade. Position sizing, a planned exit, why you should be taking winners, and why you shouldn't be holding losers. And what is this whole thing about doubling down? Is that a viable strategy? And then a template. I have a template that you should use for those trades that seem to work out for you best, that you will start building this kind of playbook, very much like a playbook that a professional coach would use on football or something. And then strategies. Well, some of these are off, like that playbook should go up here. It shouldn't be under strategies. But we'll talk about patterns, volume profile, order flow, options. I think we should probably also talk about, well, we'll see. And then there's the retrospective. The retrospective is what you do at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month. That's your continuous improvement. This goes into a little bit more detail. I talk about it at first in preparation, in the very first section. But there we talk about it in more detail. And then setting goals, the weekend review, the monthly review. And then we talk a little bit about automation. PatternCast Pro. There's another new product that we're coming out with. This is really meant for the professional trader. And then automated trading. So that's what it's going to contain so far. This is going to be a kick-ass course. Totally kick-ass. Oops. All right. That's all I have to say about that. I want to thank everybody for showing up today. Please share this video. Hit the like button. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow. Talk a little bit more about Bitcoin, see where it's going, see whether or not we held those levels. Let's go back and just check it just to make sure that everything is still copacetic. It appears if we are still on track for holding these levels. We're doing a little bit of a consolidation. We need to get a mojo, get a move on, and retake 8,220. Once we are up there, our next level is 8,500. Well, actually, that next level is 84, then 85. 84, getting over 84 will be a seminal moment. Getting up above there and retaking this sharp move down would be very, very important. Let's see what happens. I don't have a high degree of confidence, but it could happen. It could very well happen. All right, folks. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Next video. Next stream. Adios.